My experience in Europe before I got to Italy was pretty good. My first stop was in Belgrade in Serbia. And those guys there really changed my perspective on Europe and just, the culture of like a real brotherhood. And my next stop was Istanbul, Turkey for 2 years, which was a real culture shock for me. A lot of people, a lot of traffic, different types of food. And then after those 2 years, I came here in Milano. So I was already kind of a little bit experienced in the European field and was ready to get here and to play some basketball. The first season, they called me in the beginning of the summer and we weren't able to, make some terms. And then at the end of the summer, the job was still available. And so we made it happen. And I was able to come here. Luca Banchi had coached against me the previous year in the EuroLeague. So I was a little bit familiar with him. He coached Daniel Hackett, Bobby Brown, and Matt Jennings. So they all told me what type of coach he was, and it made it kind of easy for me to come here. I'm happy that my name will always be attached to that shot and that play in that game, pretty much that year. I mean, the team hadn't won any trophies in 18 seasons, so it was a very special championship for us. But the action before that, man, it was just, I watch it all the time. And Matt Jennings' shot went literally like in and out. And I think Melly took the rebound. And, typically for us, Keith was on the floor, Keith Langford, Ale Gentile was on the floor. And I was just closest to the ball, so Melly passed it to me, I dribble up. And, I made an incredible shot. And I mean, it didn't really dawn on me how important and how big the shot was till like a year, maybe two later, when on that day, people would like tag me in like Twitter and Instagram, and they would say, "Hey, a year from this date, a year ago, this shot happened. In 2 years, this shot happened." And as I think about it, I go back and I really, it's sunk on me that like it was a really, really big shot. For me, it was a basketball play. I just feel like I made a play for my team, but it was really a huge shot and a real change after almost 20 seasons with no trophies. Game 7, that championship game, it was really difficult game. That was a really good team we played against. And even being down at halftime, but in the last, I think like 5 minutes, we were down, I don't know, maybe 8 points or something like this. And I remember specifically telling myself, like, after everything that happened this year, middle of the season, we had the fans come into the practice and stop the practice after we lost the cup. The beginning of the season was rough. And then, like, even in the playoffs, we were first place. We played the eighth seed. We went to game 5. We took Sassari game 6. And I was just telling myself in those last 4 or 5 minutes that this is not how it's supposed to end, man. And we just all came together. We had help from the crowd to help us win on our home court. And winning is a thing that I like to do. Everybody likes to do it, but are you gonna do the work that it's gonna take to win? And so there's different things it's gonna take for you to win. Like, for example, like I said, I played with Keith Langford, Ale Gentile, I had David Moss, I had Daniel Hackett. And it was a group of, Samara Samuels, a group of talented people. And we all can score, we all are good players, but finding a way to play together and make the team better in order to win. So, sometimes being a winner, you have to sacrifice some things. I don't know, I just like to go the extra mile. I like to compete. And, it's like once you get a taste of winning, like, what it tastes like, you want more. So in those games that are close, at the end, it takes, somebody knowing and already been there, knowing what it's gonna take to get past it and continue to win. So.